Hello and welcome back to our third installment of ColonelCast, the weekly highlight show going on everything in center athletics. I'm Nick Nutman.
And I'm David Heald, and we're going to jump right in with women's softball. Women's softball finally got their season off to a start. They headed down to Boyle County High School. All their games so far this year have been rained out, so Suwannee was actually the home team coming to Dansville.
It makes no sense at all.
A little bit of an interesting situation. They got swept though. Colonels beat them in all 4 games.
Yeah, they won their first game by the score of 15-2. By the way, all 4 games were not in regulation. They finished them early by mercy rule. 14-0 in the second game on Saturday. It was 15-3 on the third game in 6 innings, and 12-0 again on 5 innings on Sunday.
The Colonels hit 9 home runs total, 3 of them being hit by Jessica Young. In addition, over the weekend, the Colonels scored 56 runs with 28 walks.
That's a good total for 3 months of baseball, let alone 1 weekend in 4 games.
Way to start off the season.
In other news in women's sports here at Center College, the women's lacrosse team played a home game this weekend against Ursuline. They won by a score, that was a steep score line, of 21-10. Ursuline traveling all the way from Ohio.
Colonels came out strong with their usual offensive, and Audrey Powers led the offensive, especially in that Ursuline game.
Absolutely. Yeah, with her 8 goals over the weekend, Audrey Powers won SAA Offensive Player of the Week honors. It's, another impressive win for, Center College, at least in the lacrosse program in terms of Offensive Players of the Week.
Very strong program. However, her SAA Player of the Week couldn't bring the Colonels a win as they headed down to North Carolina and take on Guilford. They started out the game with a 7-0 lead, but it just kind of slipped away. Guilford turned it on, got super clutch, and they pulled away with a 16-15 lead over the Colonels.
Yeah, and ultimately another thing of note is Jacqueline Anderson, Jackie Lax, with another 8 goals on this weekend as well. I just don't think she'll ever stop scoring, in all honesty.
She has 24 goals in the season now so far. That's an incredible pace through something like 5 games so far.
It was the golf team who also traveled to the Jekyll Island Collegiate in Georgia this past weekend. The women tied for 8th out of 19 teams, an incredibly strong showing for a tournament that had a ton of competition. For the Colonels, the lowest scores was Alyssa Brown, the senior, finished 10th overall in the tournament.
Very impressive by the show by the women. The men did well too. They had 2 eagles for the weekend. Very impressive.
Yeah, Dakota Jarman and Brian Griffin both hold eagles, something I've yet to do in my golf career.
I haven't even gotten a birdie yet.
Oh, buddy.
Got to be proud of that. The tournament most scorers were also Dakota Jarman and Andrew McKinney. Both shot 5 under. They're both actually hometown Danville kids. Good for them.
Yeah, and to highlight the strength of the field for this tournament, especially on the men's side, the lowest score in the tournament, the winning score, was a -10, 10 under. The Colonels were up against it this tournament, and it's still a great showing.
Still held their own. Baseball came to town this weekend as Hendricks College Warriors came to Center. Center dropped all 3 of those games, but they played really well. Trey Lipsy hit a nice bomb, the Colonels' 3rd home run of the season.
Yeah, that's already much more than we had last year. 200% more.
Colonels were hitting well, and Rob Caudle pitched a gem in the first game.
Yeah, and he's got a 1.96 ERA through this first portion of the season. Unfortunately for Rob and a lot of the pitching staff here for the Colonels, the bats have yet to wake up, but, still plenty of season to play.
Definitely. It's not too late.
Centermen's lacrosse also traveled this weekend. They lost 15-8 against an incredibly good Suwannee team. This team from Suwannee in conference has also beaten Colorado College, who's one of the more predominant teams in Division III men's lacrosse. Seth Gray had 4 goals and 2 assists to round out what was a solid weekend for the Colonels despite the score.
Upcoming this week, the Colonels are going to head down to Shenandoah, Texas for the NCAA Championships in swimming and diving. Danielle Wall, who the past 2 summers has swum across the English Channel,
which is mind-blowing.
That's a long way. She's even doing the mile freestyle, and a mile is nothing compared to the English Channel. And the freshman Sarah Hayhurst is going to be going into diving. The event's going to be Wednesday through Saturday, so make sure you cheer them on and send them some good luck charms.
Baseball is going to be home versus Thomas More, and also home versus Capital. Thomas More, that game's going to be on Tuesday. The game moving from Thomas More to Center due to some field conditions up there. And also Capital is going to be on Sunday.
It'll be a couple good games, good pitching matches too. Men's tennis is headed to St. Catherine on Tuesday, then Transylvania. Ugh. Is coming to town on Saturday, so make sure you come out on Saturday if you're not already in Florida.
Yeah, and women's tennis is also playing, but you're going to scratch the matchups and reverse them. They're going to play St. Catherine at home on Wednesday and then travel to Transylvania on Saturday as well.
A little bit of a tongue twister there, trying to get them in order.
I was about to say.
Softball is a doubleheader versus Hanover coming up on Wednesday. Nice little midweek game to get away from finals and midterms.
Lord have mercy. Maybe it'd be tough to make those tests up, but still.
Who cares? You only live once. They have a home weekend series this weekend against Hendricks. That'll be a good game. Another conference game is try to beat the Warriors and a little bit of retaliation for what the Warriors did to the Colonels baseball.
Absolutely. Men's lacrosse is going to be home versus Barry on Saturday. That's going to be another tough matchup after the Colonels dropped a tough game, as we mentioned earlier, to Sewanee.
Women's lacrosse is headed to Rhodes also on Saturday for another conference game. Hopefully they can pull it out. They had a couple players come back from concussions that'll hopefully be with them again.
Yeah, and last but certainly not least, it's track and field who's going to travel to the Rhodes Invitational on Saturday. It's going to be their season opener for outdoor, so good luck to them out there. That's it for us here at ColonelCast. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Nick Lemon.
I'm David Yield. Have a great spring break, everybody.